If it hurts, you ain't the breaks, no gates, you know let us put on more steam. Protect our kickers, our quarterback, our lead, our ball game. All obstacles, block, cut, sides, blue games after this win it is. Press you again, we're here for the first mate. Carry my team every 6 minutes.
Rocky Top will always be.
All I know is go Vols, because that's all I know. Go Vols!
And you have to not lose the game before you can ever win the game.
Oh my God, we should leave it at that.
Okay.
We should close with that. That is the mind blower of mind blowers.
Good.
Cole, take us through Joshua's touchdown. Did you know that he had the ball? Were you in coverage? What were you doing on the play?
Nah, I didn't know anything. I saw the ball. I mean, I didn't even see the ball. I was guarding my man, and then like all I hear is like the crowd go silent, and then I look and I see I didn't even know who was running the ball, honestly. I was just looking and I was like, oh, we running the ball, and now I looked to their sideline and I started talking trash.
Mean! Woo! My God! Gene!
Make the decision. You're either a Vol or you're not, through thick and thin.
But you know what? Let's talk a little Vols. That is not me trying to take any shine away from the phenomenal channel Talking Vols and my guy Boogie Bentley runs, so shout out to them. But let's talk a little Vols here.
Welcome to the Talkin Vols Network. My name's Boogie Bentley. He's Coach Jay. He's got tons of notes over there. You guys see all that? This dude has more notes than a freaking college professor. I've never seen anything like it. Plenty to talk about tonight. Of course, Boo Carter no longer part of this football team. We'll touch on that. We both had time to rewatch the win over New Mexico State, but it is officially Gator Hater Week, Coach Jay. How much do you hate the Gators? I was thinking, man, while the intro was playing, we need some type of clip about how much we hate Florida, and we don't really have one. How much do you hate the Florida Gators? Where do they rank up there for you?
They're high, man. They might be one of the only teams where I go troll their other versions of Talking Vols.
No.
That's how much I hate them. Like I might try to play it cool, like I hate Georgia and Bama equally, and I hate them with a deep burning passion, but I hate them, man. I hate them. So when I first became a Tennessee fan and I'd play my junior All-American football games, a lot of times if it was an early game, I was really young, so you'd play first. You'd be the 9 a.m. game, but here or the 11 o'clock game, but here it was the game was starting, right, for Tennessee, Florida. So I'd get back in my car a lot of the times, and hear that we'd lose a close game, and I'd always be freaking furious as a little kid. And then have to go grab the VHS and figure out what happened and all that. So, yeah, I absolutely hate them. I hate Lane Kiffin too. I secretly hope he goes there so he can crash that Ferrari into the wall and I can watch it burn down, just like I watched it burn down when he crashed the USC Trojan Ferrari straight into the wall. Those two miserable SOB of things in this universe deserve each other. So, yeah, I hate them. I hate everything they represent. The people smell. Gators aren't that scary. They're all ugly, horrible, disgusting, no good people. And I'm sure Kaner won't let me on his show to talk about how much I hate them. They're stupid. Their colors are stupid. Their song is stupid. It's the stupidest song in all of college football. I've never heard a song sound like a handicapped person yelling at the top of their lungs. And that's what their song sounds like. So, yes, I hate the Gators a ton.
We're off the rails. That's going to be a long clip. Tim Rice says, clip it. That's going to be a long clip. I don't know. And first of all, he's making me laugh.
Sorry.
Oh, gosh. Now that's going to be stuck in my head the rest of the night. That's just where we're at. Shout out Luke Thompson. He gifted a Talkin VAWLS membership just now. We'll give away some free merch if you guys can get to 35. We need 35 more. I'll put the link there in the chat. If you're not a member, fix it, hit the join button. Only $1. That's it, $1. $1 a month. You help keep the lights on, help support the channel. We are grateful for every single member. Luke kicking us off there. 34 more to go. And let me catch up here. Todd Landers for 2. Says, Dorfy, what's up, Gator haters? GBO, shout out Todd. We appreciate Todd. Todd is automatic. Todd is going to roll in every single stream. He's going to pay his $2 entry fee, and he's going to say, hello, gentlemen. So shout out Todd. We need more of that. There is strength in numbers. If all 200 people walked in, paid their $2, we would have some church up in here on a Sunday night. D. Taylor has been supporting this channel for 5 months. Boo gets bounced, you mean? Yeah, did I say Boo bounces? I guess I put Boo bounces in the title. He definitely did get bounced. John Watts for 5 says, Dorfy, don't let the door hit you on the way out. We appreciate you, John. Kevin Smith for 5. Dorfy, Gator bites, Gator hater. Shout out, Kevin. Jacob for 5 says, Coach Jay, why do we lose so many DBs to the portal every year? Is it coaching or play calling? What do you think? See, I just want to answer the question because I already know the answer to it, Coach.
I think in a lot of the cases we let them walk. I think you got to go that as a case-by-case basis. And then what is it? There's some kind of a effect where you see patterns in things sometimes when they don't exist or something like that. Or you know what I mean? I'm trying to think of it. It's not the Nelson or not the Mandela effect, something different. Anyway, I digress. I just think you have to go by a case-by-case basis. We've asked a lot of them to go at the end of the day, which is unfortunate, but it's the modern NIL era. I know we lost 1 or 2 that we didn't want to see us lose. We lost very famously the kid to Miami this year that a lot of us feel like really hurt Tennessee. So it hasn't been all on one side, but I feel like it's been more heavily geared to one side, don't you, Boogie?
Yeah, it's the same thing that happened with the wide receiver room, right? You saw guys like Chaz Nimrod. You saw guys like Nathan Laycock. Look, we see one side. We see I'm entering the transfer portal. You don't see Josh Heupel go to Twitter and say, hey, Nathan Laycock's hitting the portal because he's not good enough to play at Tennessee. Chaz Nimrod is entering the portal because he's not good enough to play at Tennessee. So the same thing that happened with the secondary also happened with the wide receivers. It's a two-way street in college football in 2025 when we talk about NIL and the transfer portal. Look at the DBs that were supposed to be here this year, right? If Jermod McCoy is healthy, if Ricky Gibson is healthy, if Boo Carter actually lives up to his potential and plays like Boo Carter can, Colton Hood being added in the transfer portal. Look at Ty Redmond, what he's done as a true freshman. Imagine if he's your second-string corner. And he's getting that, the kid got all kinds of valuable experience this year. He had to grow up in a hurry, and I think he's going to be really good for it. But it would have been better to let him kind of sit back and kind of work his way into the two deep. I just think that's it. Coach Jay nailed it. You got processed out. That's all there is to it. Now, safeties, Jacob, you want to talk about safeties and recruiting safeties and the misses at safety? That's a whole different conversation. Caleb Bray for 10 says, I hate the glorified scrimmages towards the end of the season. Everybody's used up for SEC play. Then you have to play teams like New Mexico State, then have to turn it back up next week for SEC play again.
My only question is, like, would you rather have played like LSU this week? Like, you know what I mean? Like, because that's what's about to happen, right? I mean, I guess we're about to get our wish, Caleb. We'll see what that looks like. I don't know, but I get what you're. I get the sentiment behind what you're saying.
I think I get what he's saying too. It sucks for fans. That was a boring game, and guess what? Rewatching it today was also boring. It was just as boring the second time around as it was the first time. But I'm with you, Coach. We needed this, and I even had that in my notes during the rewatch. I'm like, I called it a glorified scrimmage all week long. Guess what it was? A glorified scrimmage. What do you want to do in a scrimmage? You want to try to fix things. You want to try to install things. You want to try to improve things. And I think that's what Tennessee was doing yesterday. Was it boring to us? Of course it was. But I think they were trying to get some things figured out in the run game. On the rewatch, it felt like they ran outside a whole lot more than I thought they did live. I thought they had some success running to the outside. So, yeah, glorified scrimmage. But I think for us, it sucks. For the team, it came at the picture-perfect time. James Michael for 10 says they ruined Tom Petty for me. Yeah, that's another reason to hate the Gators. Yes, I should rest in peace. God love his soul.
Stadium's ugly.
Now I hate Tom Petty.
Stadium's ugly. I mean, I won't get started again. And I'm sorry for insulting the handicap physically community. You guys are amazing. You're not awful, terrible Gators. I take that back in hindsight.
You got carried away just because you were.
I got carried away
because you were raised in the 80s. You think you
I have handicap family. They are amazing people, and Gators people are just awful, gross, disgusting.
Luke for 2 says, forgot my door fee. Shout out, Luke. We appreciate you. Kevin Smith gifted a Talkin VAWLS membership, and also Todd Landers gifted a Talkin VAWLS membership. We're down to 33. Can y'all get there? Man, I got to get Chuck his shirt sent out in the mail. We get 35 members on this thing, and we'll give away some more free merchandise. Tyler Maxwell's been a member for 14 months. F the Gators. After the game last night, got some player photos, met the Staley family, reminding the players we got Florida this week. Let's win. Well, Tyler, I hope you said hello to Brian and the family for me. Did you tell them you were a member of Talkin VAWLS? I hope Brian treated you right. Tyler Harrison's been a member for 19 months. I hate the Gators the most. There is not one team I hate more than, oh, come on. The Gators are not even going to a bowl game. It makes me happy. Hope they stay a 3-win team. Go Vols. True Gator hater. We're going to talk about Florida here in just a minute. Wayne drops a 5 spot and says, GBO. Shout out, Wayne. We appreciate you, my man. Let's talk about the drama. We'll kick it off here. We got to talk about it. We have to talk about it. We've been covering this dang story since back during the off season, but I felt like this channel was on top of it. Saturday, sometimes you get a hunch and you feel like something's going a certain way. That's the way I felt on Saturday, man. From the time I woke up, read the rumors on the message board, and then saw the tweet from John Bryce saying that Boo Carter wasn't going to play. And then when Austin Price said he wasn't on the sideline, he wasn't at the stadium when he was supposed to be, it felt like I knew that this was coming. Today, Coach, it's official. Tennessee has dismissed Boo Carter. Don't get it twisted. Tennessee dismissed him. Opening thoughts on that. Then I want to go through his statement here that he made announcing he's entering the portal. But just opening thoughts on it's finally done.
Yeah, I'm anxious to hear. I haven't heard it yet. I'm going to be honest with you, Boogie. Miss J flew to Tennessee this morning, so I don't know what she's doing there. She's probably feeding GMAC, I heard. I don't know what's going on. But she is in the great state of Tennessee. While she was gone, I took a nap, man. I was like, I'm in full bachelor mode, man. I was like, I'm going to take a little nap. I got nothing to do, no one to see. So I'm anxious to see that. I took a little napski after I rewatched the game. But it's just think back to the film breakdown we did of him, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's take this back to the beginning. I just had this awesome idea. I felt like at the time to do. It was the first time we did it where I did a couple plays of him at one position, a couple plays out of another position, a couple plays at another. And you said on this channel, it was like each time we moved to a different position, you felt like he could help us at that position.
Yep.
Like that's how talented Boo Carter was. All the talent in the world. But to quote Butch Jones, it didn't equate to a 5-star heart at the end, I guess, right? Like, I don't know where it went wrong for Boo, but it went wrong. At the end of the day, just like with Nico, just like with anyone who moves on, absolutely nobody is bigger than the power T. Zero people are bigger than the power T. So I hope whatever happens with Boo Carter in the future, I hope he learns to be a little more humble. I hope he learns to work hard, and I hope he finds whatever in life he's looking for because I live, breathe, bleed Tennessee orange, but football is an amazing game, and I equate it to life, and I don't wish any young man ill will, and I hope he figures it out and uses that talent that God gave him towards good and doesn't take it for granted and finds whatever in his heart, in his mind, he's looking for.
The way this thing played out, just so ugly at the end of it. And again, we talked about Austin Price at kickoff putting it out and saying that, yeah, he's been dealing with a hip injury. He has, but he also fielded punts at practice on Thursday. Now we get the full story today. Again, AP puts it out that Boo Carter was supposed to be at the game on Saturday morning. Now he didn't stay at the hotel on Friday. Here's what Austin Price said today after all this went down. He says Boo was essentially sent home on Friday and was given the opportunity to show up Saturday and be on the sidelines. He never showed, would not respond to the Tennessee staff, and was subsequently dismissed on Sunday after the staff finally got a hold of him. He was not allowed to come to the team hotel on Friday where the team stays. Today, he has officially been dismissed from the program. Now, as far as the hotel on Friday, that's normal for this coaching staff, according to what I read from Brent Hubbs. If you're not dressing out, if you're injured, you don't necessarily stay with the team on Friday unless you're a guy like Jermod McCoy. If you're a leader of this team, if you're like a player coach, is the way that Brent Hubbs kind of worded it there. If you're in that type of role, then you'll be at the hotel on Friday with the team. And I don't know how long they've been doing that. They've not been doing it too awful long where they get a hotel on Friday night in Knoxville, but that is something that this coaching staff does. And, so Boo sent home Friday, didn't stay with the team. And then Saturday, he was supposed to be there, did not show up. And that's when Josh Heupel pulled the trigger and dismissed him. I'm going to ask you point blank, Coach. This is a hard question. And I know you've kind of talked a little bit about it, but on the heels of Nico bouncing, now we follow it up with this that happened right after that and then right before fall camp. Do you think Coach Heupel mismanaged this situation? Now, I know hindsight's 20/20. It's easy to look at it now and make that statement. But I questioned it at the time when he said, and I know you just said this last night on the postgame show, when Josh Heupel said nobody's bigger than the T, it certainly felt like Boo Carter was a little bit bigger than the T a few months after Nico hit the portal.
Yeah, I like I said last night, I'm gonna stand on that and say that I do feel like it was mismanaged, but with just the big caveat that I'm not there and I don't know everything. Like Fao Ming says, like, I don't know all the personal details of this, so I really don't like speaking on it. But guess what? You don't come on Talkin VAWLS to sit here and say nothing. So, so that's something that Boogie's kind of made us do is, state what we think, and that's just how I feel. Sitting here from my armchair quarterback, and I just want to be clear that's what we're doing here. With that said, with the statement that was made with Nico on the field and how that went down, I felt like you kind of had to put 10 toes down on the floor get the cleats in the dirt, right? Get everyone get the cleats in the dirt and just stand on your team and not allow anything to mess with that culture. You took that huge giant culture stand with Nico, and it's almost like it got fudged with Boo. And yeah, I thought he should have been dismissed right then and there. And you know what? Yeah, I'll say it. Does this type of stuff affect? It's just a question. Does this type of cancer, this type of quitting, affect a team? Does it affect your attention to detail, which has been an issue this year? Has it affected your continuity this year? Yes. Has it hurt your team this year for him to be out there more than it would have hurt for him just to not be there at all? I feel like it did. I feel like the answer is it hurt this team for Boo Carter to be out there worse than if he wasn't out there. Now, like I said last night, it's just really hard because everyone that we're missing in the secondary, had they dismissed him when Coach Jay wanted him dismissed, this fan base would be sitting here right now going, man, if we only had Boo Carter, this secondary might be all right. And that's tough. But if we were willing to gamble that with the quarterback, then we should have been willing to gamble it with the star position of our defense and the cornerstone of a Tim Banks defense, the star position.
And like Coach Jay said, we're speculating. We're giving our opinion. That's what fans do.
It.
We always want this channel to feel like you're hanging out at your buddy's house and you're having an open, free conversation about how you feel, giving your opinion. That's what this channel is all about. We don't have all the information. But if you were at my house and we were talking about Boo Carter, would you tell me your opinion? Or would you sit there and go, well, I don't have all the facts, so I can't comment? No, you got a strong opinion about Boo Carter. And for me in this whole situation, I think one big thing that stands out is being shorthanded in the secondary. Like you said, I think Josh Heupel may have felt like he needed Boo Carter, and maybe that's why he gave him maybe an extra opportunity that he didn't deserve. On the flip side of that, from a coach trying to make the right decision for a player, we talk about second chances and giving these guys another opportunity. Wayne brought up a good point in the chat. It's something that I've talked about before as well. The transfer portal's closed. If Boo Carter is dismissed from this football team prior to fall camp, he's going nowhere. His football career is over. And I've also said this. There's a lot of rumors out there, a lot of talk about Boo Carter that I don't know if it's right, wrong, or indifferent. I don't know if it's true. It's a lot of rumors. What's Boo Carter's life look like without football? And if Josh Heupel says, we're done with you, go somewhere else, what does Boo's life look like from July until November the 16th without football? No accountability, no teammates, no brothers, no coaches, no mentors. I don't know what that looks like. So as a man, did Josh Heupel help Boo Carter in the long run? But maybe it cost him from a football perspective. I think maybe that could possibly be something we're looking at. And again, we hope that Boo Carter would turn the corner. Boo Carter would be the guy that we expected him to be. Unfortunately, he is not. I think this, and I get it. You're not going to go to Twitter and say, I quit on my team. I loafed. I got benched, so I quit. He says, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank the University of Tennessee coaches, administration, and fans for a wonderful 2 years. Unfortunately, my season has been cut short due to injury. It's my opinion. It's my belief. I could say my opinion. I could state my belief. I don't think it is because of injury. I think you got benched. I think that's it. I think you got benched. I think you got your feelings hurt, and I think you're bouncing because of that. Do I think he's banged up? Do I think he's a little nicked up? Yeah, everybody is. It's college football. It's the SEC. Everybody's hurt right now. If you've got a true injury that is forcing you to shut down your season, coach, why are you not on the injury report?
You should be, man. You should be willing to do anything for that power T. Like, can you imagine? Let me just imagine, Boogie. You grew up in Tennessee. You have all this talent. You're out on the field last season. You make a big hit against Alabama. The whole stadium, 110,000 people. Boo! Can you imagine not fighting your ass off for that? Like, it just don't make any damn sense to me. I'd have given up my right arm to be in that position.
Look at William Wright. Look at William Wright. Pick six. I don't care that it was New Mexico State. William Wright, a walk-on, an in-state kid, a Nashville kid. You don't think he's going to remember that forever? That's what I want my players to be about. And I get it. Not everybody's that way. But like you said, when you're an in-state kid, man, you hope that he kind of feels that way.
Yeah, you hope, but it's not always the case, man. Like, it's unfortunate. Like I said, I hope he figures it out and finds whatever he's looking for, because I think he's got a lot of talent, and I don't want to see him just go to Colorado and, phone it in and end up out of the league and, nothing become of him. That would be a terrible waste of talent. And as much as I hate to have the situation end like that, I don't want to see it happen to him. Hope he figures it out.
Let me catch back up with the chat. Peyton K gifted a Talkin VAWLS membership. Shout out, Peyton. We appreciate you. 31. We need 31 more members. If you don't have a power T beside your name, fix it. Hit the join button. It's $1. You got $1, we'll take that $1. We need that $1. It helps keep the lights on around here. Allows us to do shows like tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. with Eric Kane at VolQuest.com. He'll be in the house because we get to bring you content every single day. It's those memberships that make it happen. So if you like the content, you like the channel, the community, whatever it is, think about hitting that join button. If you're already a member, you can gift them. You can gift 1, you can gift 2, you can gift 5, you can gift 10. Man, you could do like, who was it last night? Valued client last night gifted 20 Talkin VAWLS memberships. That's like $100 super chat. So get in where you fit in. Caleb Brave for 10 says, Boogie, I feel sometimes like Coach Heupel is a bridge from when we were bad the past decade to us wanting to become elite. He built us back, just don't know if he can take us to the elite status. So he's the bridge. I've made that exact same comment. I made that exact same quote. I think that may be possible. Josh Heupel may be the guy that rebuilt this roster. He may be the guy that brought you some stability. He may be the guy that brought you some continuity with your coaching staff. Instead of running everybody out of town every time something doesn't go your way, you had some continuity there, which has allowed you to continue to build in recruiting. The NCAA investigation is now in the past. You look at this class of 26, you got some real dudes coming in. Coach, watching this rewatch and seeing guys like David Hobbs make plays, I don't know that we gave him enough respect last night. David Hobbs is a dude. Guess what? He's going to be back next year. Nathan Robinson, he's grown up before our eyes this entire year. Going to be back next year. Caleb Herring, Jordan Ross, Marion Dye, going to be back next year. There's a lot of young dudes that are going to be back. So, again, does Josh Heupel take that next step to elite? I don't know, but he's done a dang fine job rebuilding this roster and bringing us some stability. Any comments on that, Coach? I know you like to talk about the what you brought up a week or two ago with coaches and how long it took them to win national championships. I'm not ready to let that ship sail for Coach Heupel.
Yeah, I'm just like, I've heard like people make the Franklin comment, right? And for me, that's a little premature with Josh. I think that's a really fair comment, though. Much respect, Caleb. It's a really fair comment. It's okay not to know. I don't know if Josh Heupel is going to be the guy, but I'm not going to sit here and say, well, because this or that in his first 4 seasons, I know because I'm a ball-knowing realist that Josh Heupel ain't him. And, let's get some more stability. Let's keep going. I mean, like, let's say right now today, for whatever reason, Danny White, and I know this is hypothetical, just decided, you know what? I don't think Josh Heupel is that guy. Who you hiring? I mean, look at who's looking for coaching this year. Like, who you bringing in? That's all. Like, whenever you're going to say that, okay, we need our guy that's going to make us elite from being, somewhere between a 8 to 10 win team every year. Okay, well, I want to know who that is. I don't want you to just willy-nilly fire him and hope you find the right guy, right? Let's continue to be successful. Let's continue to stack winning seasons. Yeah, if you have a hiccup, let's say the sky falls down this year, right? And we lose these last 2 meaningful games. Yeah, you had a crap season, but what's your plan? Who you moving on to? You just firing them because you're going, oh yeah, well, I can magically name a bunch of coaches. Oh yeah, Saban, Gruden, the Cincinnati coach. Yeah, the Cincinnati coach. Okay, well, guess what? None of those guys are going to come. So who you really in reality hiring? Heupel is the guy. Right now, he needs to keep this program successful. He needs to keep us in the hunt like we have been. If you get a stinker in there, so be it, as long as he rebounds. You can't put together stinkers, or guess what? You're not bridging that really, really good to elite line, right? So you got to stay in the hunt. If he has multiple seasons where you put up 5 losses, yeah, then you kind of move towards pulling that trigger. But with everything externally that's been going on this year, at least for Coach Jay, he gets somewhat of a mulligan.
Sean Cross dropped $2 and said, Clark Gable said it best. And I'm old, but I'm not as old as Sean is. I know Sean was alive back in 1939 when Gone with the Wind came out, and Clark Gable said, frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn. I'm assuming he's talking about Boo Carter. Bert Smith, Real Estate for 5, says, how could it have impacted recruiting if dismissed back then? Could there have been an outside perception about our culture causing a negative impact? Maybe, but I also think when you take a stand like Coach Heupel did against Nico, you saw how the national media responded to that and rallied to that. And I think fans probably would have too until we got into the season. And then like Coach Jay said earlier, are we all sitting here going, sure wish we wouldn't have kicked Boo Carter off the team. We should have let him stick. We would have been questioning Heupel, just like quarterback play. If Joey had been really, really bad and cost you a bunch of games early in the season, now you can argue that he cost us the Oklahoma game, but we lost that game. Me and Kaner laughed about this. We lost that game because of Joey. We were also only in it because of Joey. Like, Joey gives and Joey takes, but if Joey had been really, really bad, I think a lot of people maybe have been questioning Nico being let go. So I don't know. You could kind of spin that either way, Bert, but thank you so much for the super chat. Peyton K drops 10 and says, Door Fee going to beat the hell out of the Gators on Saturday. Go Vols. I like the way you think, Peyton. David Hall with a 20 spot. Top donation of the night. We love Orange Boys. We appreciate Orange Boys. Shout out, David. We'll play the clip.
Rocky Top, you'll always be.
David says, Florida is #1 on my hate list. I still remember the Gaffney Phantom catch, so it runs deep and goes back to my childhood. I hate them worse than a flock of wild crabs. Go Big Orange. I bet David is about our age. I think that's where most of this comes from, is because we do remember things like the Gaffney Phantom catch in the end zone. We remember all the years that we went down to the swamp and probably had a better team and still got beat. Like, Florida owned us, man. Like, I hate to say this, and we're going to get into Florida here in just a minute. Should me and Coach Jay just do a show every Sunday night by ourselves? We're 35 minutes into this. It's supposed to be a fan call-in show. Last week, you guys told us no fan call-in show. We just want you and Coach Jay to cook. I feel like we always have high numbers on Sunday night. I feel like you guys drop interactive super chats and we feed off of you on Sunday nights. Should we just make fan call-in shows on tailgate shows and me and Boogie and Coach cooking on a Sunday? I'm just asking what you guys want. Put it in the chat what you guys want. What I was going to say is Florida. I think so many people are looking at this Florida game coming up and they're scared and they're saying that we can't beat Florida all because of the name on the jersey, because of the logo on the helmet. That's it. When you look at these teams on paper, I don't see it. I don't want to bury the lead. We're going to talk about that here in just a minute. But shout out, David. We appreciate you. Caleb Bray for 5 says, with no NCAA allegations anymore, development of Coach Josh Heupel, own players and talent we have coming in, I feel like next year is next step, year or bust. It depends on how this year plays out. If you go 7-5 this year, you better put something together next year, because this fan base is going to have a short leash. Now, you find a way to go 9-3 this year, and maybe you go win a bowl game and get to 10 wins, and you kind of mirror that next year, maybe 9 wins. I would say 2027, he's going to be on the hot seat. He's got to take a step. He does have to take a step. This year, I feel like he would have needed to take a step had Nico come back. But because of the way things played out, with Joey coming in, with your 2 starting corners getting hurt, the way the Boo Carter situation played out, I think that buys Josh Heupel a little bit of time. But I can also look ahead to next year, Coach, and I can say, how's this quarterback situation? We basically wasted an entire year with Nico leaving because Joey came in 1 year plug and play. And now next year, we're going to be looking at the exact same situation for the third straight year. Redshirt freshman Nico last year. If Joey didn't come in, it would have been redshirt freshman Jake Merklinger this year. Next year, it's going to be redshirt freshman George McIntyre. So this quarterback situation is kind of just getting kicked down the road over and over and over. And that's what we're going to be looking at next year.
Yeah, but you know what? Is that just how the modern NIL era is?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Right. So for me, you guys talked about it on the Caner show. You got to do both. You got to do both. You got to develop those kids, and I think Heupel's absolutely going to look for somebody in the portal to play quarterback. But I don't think that necessarily chases George or Faison away. I don't think it has to. And how much eligibility is that kid going to have, right? Does he have 1 year? Does he have 2 year? All that kind of matters. But at the end of the day, like, bring in all the 5 stars, high 4 stars as you can. Bring in all the talented as transfers as you can. And you know what? May the best man freaking win, right? Like this isn't UNICEF. It's football, right? Nothing should be for free. And whoever goes out there and earns the right to be the quarterback at Tennessee should be the quarterback at Tennessee. And I think whoever earns that right, this fan base will get behind and cheer on it.
Yeah, I think you're going to have to go to the portal regardless. If Jake leaves, you're going to have to go get a quarterback, and it's going to have to be a quarterback competition. No quarterback in the portal is going to come here to sit. That's just not going to happen. So you're going to have to open it up. I think the answer is probably what you said there, talking about eligibility. Ideally, you would like to go get somebody. If you're going to go to the portal and you're going to get somebody that has the potential to come here and start, we would be way better off if that guy coming in had a couple of years. That way Faison Brandon could come in and sit as a true freshman, maybe sit as a redshirt freshman and learn and develop and grow. There's a big difference between a true freshman, a redshirt freshman, and a sophomore. There is a huge difference between all three of those things. But like you said, it's college football in 2025, and it's Josh Heupel's job to figure out how he wants to attack that. Justin Campbell for 10 says, I hate hearing the rumors about Coach Hype leaving UT. I hope he doesn't, but didn't he receive a contract extension this past offseason? I hope recruits don't leave. If he does, input Boogie. We did a full show Friday morning talking about the rumors of Josh Heupel to LSU. If you really want a deep dive into this, I encourage you to go listen to that show. But my overall thoughts, if you're talking specifically about the LSU situation, there's a lot of baggage going on right now with the local governor and no athletic director. But I will also say this, talking about a contract extension, that means absolutely nothing in the world of coaching in 2025. If somebody wants Coach Heupel bad enough, they will pay that buyout to get him to LSU, to Arkansas, to Florida, wherever the case may be. They will pay that. I don't think a contract extension is going to stop anything. Do I think Coach Heupel's going anywhere this year? No. I think he likes what he's built in this class of 26. I think he likes the young talent on this roster. Why would you go to LSU and start all over when you're just now starting to reap the rewards of what you've built, what you've done the last almost 5 years? Shout out Nelson in the chat saying, you need stability to become elite. It doesn't happen overnight. Josh Heupel, we're talking about it as a fan base. You need to take that next step to be elite. Why would you bail when you're at that point of the process?
You wouldn't. To me, you wouldn't. You've got to build it up and get into a strong position, and then hope you catch lightning in a bottle, right? So I just don't see Heupel leaving right now. I could be proven to be dead wrong, but I see Retro. You're funny with your name change. I just saw your picture and caught it was you. But
see, I don't like reading Retro's name. I don't like reading his name because it usually makes me say something about another team that I don't want to say. But we can call him We Own Texas. I don't care to say that.
I just, like I was saying, like, I still believe there's top tier jobs. I just think that these lines are starting to get a lot fuzzier than they used to be. Like, and LSU is not that much better of a job than it was in 2015, let's say. Like, it's just not with modern NIL and transfer portal and money, it's just, for me, it's lost a little bit of that mystique. And certainly if they're not going to pay me, they're not going to give me my 54 million. If the shoot hits the fan, that's a problem, right? Like, I want my $54 million if I'm promised it. I don't know about y'all.
I'm putting a poll in the chat right now, and it just simply says,
I
what
could be
do you
wrong.
guys want? Coach Jay and Boogie Cook? I clearly can't spell cook. Thankfully, I corrected that. That would have been a problem. Coach Jay and Boogie Cook, fan call in. I want to bring you guys, you have no idea the conversations we have off air. I want to bring you guys the best content possible. I want to bring you guys the type of content that you want. I want to build this channel as big as we can possibly get it, but I want it to be a tight-knit group, a tight-knit community where you guys are valued. Your opinion matters. I want to bring you the content that you want, but sometimes I feel like when it's me and it's Coach A, and I love everybody that rolls through this channel, from Dauber to X to Foul to Scoops, everybody that comes on here. Sometimes I feel like when it's just me and Coach, we're cooking. We're cooking. We have good rapport. We have good chemistry. We've done probably more shows than anybody else together on this channel. So I ask you guys, vote on it in the chat. There is a poll there now. Do you want Coach Jay and Boogie to cook, or do you want us to turn it into a fan call-in show? J-Ball for 2 says, I've yet to see a duck pull a truck. Well, I've got a way to fix that. We're going to bring Brent Hubbs in here on a Friday morning and see if we can get him to motivate that duck to pull the truck. I probably shouldn't have said that because I need to text Brent first. I started to text him right before we went live, and I was like, he's doing that show with Mike Keith, and then he's rolling right into the Rocky Top Rewind. I should probably let Brent do his job and then maybe text him tomorrow.
I was yesterday during halftime, like the reporter from ESPN or what have you interviews Heupel real quick, and then Hubbs, he leaves that reporter, goes to Hubbs following him with the microphone, and I'm like, hey, I know that guy. I know him. He knows me. I know him. We know each other.
Isn't it weird? And I know, like, look, he's doing a show with us, but it's like when he's like, you're just Coach. You know what I mean? You're not Coach. They, like, I think too, when they see that, and then once they figure out like where you like the fact that you're a legit coach, there's a respect there, and you're just instantly Coach. Like, there's no Coach Jay.
After they call and confirm my employment.
This is true. Maybe we figured it out
the whole time. It was the whole time.
Oh, we figured it out.
Coach Jay, I'm not going to be made no fool of.
Oh, that's absolutely hilarious. He's going to roll in the next Friday and be like, excuse me, I'm going to have to call you by your first name now, not Coach. Matthew Watson for 2. Jeremy Pruitt will be available to hire soon, GBO. I know you're telling jokes, Matthew. I'd take Jeremy Pruitt as a defensive coordinator in a heartbeat. Call me crazy, but that's never happening.
Safeties coach. Just coach the safeties. Go back to your position of position coach.
I wish you would have just called him stupid at the end of that. Go back to your position, stupid.
Go back to your position, coach, stupid.
Blake Morgan for 2 says Dorfy here. Arkansas State has a good head coach candidate. I mean, yeah, I think he could come in here and he could give some powerful speeches, give some motivation in the locker room like this.
And you have to not lose the game before you can ever win the game.
Shout out, Blake. We appreciate you. Tyler Harrison for 5 says, not football related, but you got me hooked on the NASCAR video game. LOLF Florida Go Vols. Thank you, Boogie and Coach Jay, for all the videos. GBO. Yeah, I'm hoping we could play that Tuesday night. We played it till almost 1 in the morning this past Tuesday. Old Smokey's been a member for 36 months. Shout out, Old Smokey. We appreciate you. We still need 31 memberships. If we get those, we'll give away some free Talkin Vols merch. We also got Talkin Vols Christmas ornaments. Gregory C for 2, nothing to say, just a tip in the tip jar. We appreciate you, Gregory. Dale for 20, that's Orange Boy. We will roll on back up here. We will find the clip, and then we will play the clip.
Rocky Top, you'll always be.
Dale says if we're going to win in the swamp this year and end this curse, our O-line needs to protect Joey, and our D needs to show up like last night. We do that, we come out with that win. I agree on with all of that. I take nothing away with what the defense did last night, though. None. But I take a whole lot more concern in the offensive line's play last night.
The D played well against Oklahoma, I thought. And I really think that they've improved vastly against the run the last five 5-6 weeks. The pass game is obviously still a gigantic issue. But they've improved against the run, and anyone who's watched a lot of Florida this year knows if you can shut Baugh down, if you can shut that run down, they really, really struggle. And yeah, they're going to come after Joey, and they got a really aggressive defense that plays fast and plays hard. So we're going to need to exploit that. We're going to need to use that against them and not let it create turnovers and hurt us. Kentucky had a great roadmap for tearing that team up. I mean, I know they quit in that game. Where is Florida's headspace?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I feel like they put a lot into that. They got called quitters after the Kentucky game. Everyone, including their mothers, yelled at them for quitting after that game. And you could tell they weren't quitting in that Ole Miss game. They played their tail off. But now what's the record book? 3-7?
Yep.
What's their headspace, right? So that's going to be an interesting thing to watch, certainly.
Let's talk about the Gators while we're on it. Shout out, Dale. Appreciate that super chat. You kind of led us into the Florida conversation a little bit. We can come back and talk about the rewatch here in a minute. But when we look ahead to Florida, I see a lot of people saying that Tennessee has no shot, and I just can't wrap my head around it. Again, going back to the logo, I've said it a lot to people in the comments. I'm like, are you scared of what you've seen from the Gators? Are you scared of what you've seen on film, what you've seen on game day? Or are you just simply scared because it's the Florida Gators? And there's two mindsets here. It's this Tennessee football team sucks. They suck. They're not any good. All three losses that Tennessee have come to top 10 opponents, right? And of course you want to win those games. Like, it's fair if you want to argue and say, yeah, but we've not beat anybody with a pulse either. That's fair. I'll give you that. But all three losses did come to quality opponents. You lost to Georgia, who's a top 5 team. Their only loss is to Alabama. You lost to Oklahoma and Alabama. They're both top 10 programs. Both of those teams are 8-2. But then you look at Florida, and people want to sell me that Florida is unbeatable. And I just can't figure out why. I can't figure out why. And I know a lot of it came because these comments were coming in last night while Florida is in a fight with Ole Miss. And I'm just sitting there going, and Ole Miss, like, why are we giving Florida credit? Are we giving Florida credit because they only lost to Ole Miss by 10? Like, are we doing that? Like, are we giving our opponents moral victories now? Well, they hung with Florida. Golly hum, look what they did. If we lost to Ole Miss by 10, would you guys be sitting here selling that? And when I say you guys, I'm not talking to everybody. I'm just having a conversation with the air here. But if we lost to Ole Miss by 10, would you be going, man, we sure did give it a good effort. We only lost by 10. We did great. We didn't roll over and play dead. If we were 3-7 and our only wins were over Long Island, Mississippi State, and a 3-loss Texas team, would you be worried about that game if that was us? Like I don't understand what you're living on. And I get it. Florida played Murderer's Row. Their schedule was brutal. Their schedule was a gauntlet. But they didn't beat anybody. You want to talk about losses? Like at least Tennessee lost to good football teams. I know people want to sell Oklahoma short. Oklahoma sucks. They're nobody. They're a pretty dang good football team. Guess who's not a good football team? Kentucky. And you lost 38-7. If Tennessee lost 38-7 to Kentucky, if Tennessee lost to South Florida, what would the conversation be? Coach, I know what it would be. Go hire Alex Golesh. That's what we would be hearing all week long if Josh Heupel lost to South Florida. I don't know what you guys are scared of. I don't. Now, does battered Vols syndrome creep in with me, Coach? It does. I'm terrified. We got to go to the swamp and do something we've not done since 2003.
Yeah, sure. It's the gambler's fallacy, right? Like, there's been 20 hands that went the banker's way in a row. So why would the next one go the player's way, right? Like, the odds stand on their own each specific game. So for a lot of fans who are like, well, I've never seen us beat Florida, so why would we now? Like, I get why you feel that way, but it's still what you call the gambler's fallacy because each game stands on its own. It's like if you were a baby born in the desert and you were 1 year old and you never seen it rain, would that mean that it's never going to rain because you haven't seen it rain? Like, that's a good way I've heard to explain that gambler's fallacy. It just doesn't mean that. And I'm not saying we're gonna beat them or gonna lose. I'm just saying each game stands on its own. The years before often have not as much as the fans feel like they have to do with the game as they actually do. With that said, this team has not gotten that monkey off their back, and so it is a monkey. You gotta punch the damn thing in the face, right, and get it off you. But it's not a gorilla, Boogie, so you don't need 100 men to do it. It's just a monkey. So you can get the damn thing off your back. Yeah. Thank you. You can do it. Florida. It's like it's weird. They've been in a lot of their games other than Kentucky. They've just found a way to choke. So my number one note, I know it's a little early in the week, but my number one note is to not beat ourselves. Florida has been really good at beating themselves this year. Do not help them. Give them zero help because they will beat themselves. They will implode if we play sharp football. So that's the biggest coaching tip I have for the week.
That's where I'm at too, and it comes to one person. It's not even the whole team. It's not the whole team. It's one person on this football team cannot get us beat. Who do you think that person is?
Joey.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
And Lagway, here's the thing about Lagway too. The one place he can't throw is the middle of the field. Like he's terrible at throwing the middle of the field, like really, really bad at doing that. And you kind of got to be able to do that to throw on Tennessee. So that kind of makes me feel a little better too. He has looked a little bit better this past week than he did against Kentucky, but I think we can go out there. Any chance that Jermont McCoy plays in this game, Boogie?
Yes.
Okay.
Do I think he plays? I have no idea. Is there a chance?
And what does he look like? Right.
I think right. We needed him back this past week to get him some live reps. Right. That's what you needed to get him in football shape, get him an opportunity to go play. I think Jermon McCoy, contrary to what some fans saying that he doesn't want to play, he's being selfish, blah 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 blah. I think he wants to play. I think he wants to finish his career with his teammates. I do, and I get that reading people that are close to it, people that are close to the program, and saying how hard he's working his tail off to try to get back. That's not the mindset of somebody that doesn't want to play.
Yeah, I hear you. I don't know. I kind of felt like Kentucky was the game where he'd either make it back or not. So we'll see. I would certainly love to see him get another game back in, but we'll see. And you're right about Joey. He can't. Do you think it feels like he's regressing a little because he's been hurt? Without trying to make an excuse for him, just kind of call it what it is. Like, I know he hadn't practiced a bunch of practices. Is he having a little bit of I don't want to call it rust, but you know what I mean? Like, sometimes you practice like you play.
Yeah, but my gosh, the game he got hurt was Alabama, right?
Yeah.
He comes out against Kentucky, and it's his best game of the year. His QBR was 95.9, 20 of 26, 400 yards and 3 touchdowns. Like, his best game of the year was when he didn't practice. I've not really thought about that. It's not really crossed my mind. Is he dealing with that injury? Is it nagging? Is that causing him a problem? I think it's the offensive line play. I think when he is getting pressured, when he is getting hit, when he is getting rattled, he's saying, screw this. We like that gunslinger, right? We like that gunslinger when he's got a clear pocket and he lets her rip and somebody can go make a play. You don't like that gunslinger when he's getting pressured and he still tries to make a play. There's a guy that posts on VolQuest, and he's a coach, and he used to coach college football. I don't know at what level. I don't know if he was a head coach, coordinator. He is hands down, the best poster on VolQuest. And he breaks down the game, and he gets so detailed, and I love it. And I copied it, and I was going to share it with you, but now since you brought it up, I'm just going to read it on air. Old coach on VolQuest. If you're on VolQuest, if you see him post, read it because he is going to bring knowledge. He says Aguilar has been a real surprise and plus for this offense. but he's also reverted back to some very old/bad habits. Said his poor mechanics is totally the cause of most of his interceptions this year. He's shown some really poor footwork in the pocket lately with letting his feet be idle and opening up his shoulders, causing more accuracy problems. Says the quarterback has to keep his feet in motion to maintain a good throwing posture and keeping his shoulders, hips, and feet in alignment to deliver an accurate ball with velocity. I've noticed the last few games, Aguilar has let his feet get planted, causing balls to sail or be less accurate with less pepper on the ball. As a very good quarterback coach I knew would say, you got to have a little hop in your step that's in a clutter or a clean pocket. Last night, Aguilar looked like a statue a few times in the clean pocket and let a few balls get away from him. I thought that was very detailed. You can comment, agree, disagree, say whatever you want to say. But I think this thing comes down to offensive line. I think when Joey gets pressured, he tries to make a play, and that leads to him making mistakes. Both of his interceptions were why he was being pressured. The throw to Miles Kittelman, rewatching it, I think live, I said post-game, I said I wish Miles would have fought a little bit more for the ball. I still think that was a tie, and a tie goes to the offense. I don't think that was a clean pick. That's an argument for another day. The ball placement was awful, horrible. Throw it outside, Miles Kittelman's open. The second interception was just awful, just really bad. Again, pressured, and it sailed on him.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, he's a gunslinger. Joey always hasn't been, this elite placement quarterback. He can huck the pill. He can play a little background yard football for you. I think he's the kind that kind of needs to be tied to the hip with his quarterback coach because some things can kind of creep in. But you nailed it. When I said it before this year, it really doesn't matter who our quarterback is, Joey, Nico, whoever. If the O-line can't protect him, like in the 24 season, it's not going to matter, right? Because no quarterback is good with SEC D linemen breathing down your throat and in your face. So you got to be able to protect them. Are some quarterbacks really, really, really cool under pressure and have a really, really great natural feel for the pocket? Yes, sure. But the way our offense is ran, what we're trying to do schematically from a route standpoint, from a scheme concept, doesn't lend itself well to pressure. And funny enough, Boogie, either does the Coach Pearson, Danny Hernandez, this offensive style that we run out here. Just as a defensive guy, one of the things I work on with these guys is pressure because it's the weakness in that system. It's the weakness in how those kids are coached. Now, there's a lot of strengths to it, and I think we all see those strengths, but there's a big weakness to it, and it's always been pressure. That's always been the challenge to kind of this spread out, veer and shoot, scheme out, Rex T concept. So, yeah.
And by the way, we both love Joey Aguilar. What this offense has done? I know
people have said it sometimes.
Like we're idiots. I don't know where we're at now after scoring 42. Probably still somewhere near, at least in the top 5 in scoring offense. This offense is not in the top 5 if Joey Aguilar doesn't transfer in here. Right after Nico, I don't know what this offense would have been with Nico. I'm gonna die on that hill. We're never gonna know. To say it would have been worse, better, nobody knows. We're never gonna know.
Nope.
But I will say this: what I've seen from Jake, and I hate because it sounds like now I'm ripping on Jake. We would have been in trouble. We would have been in trouble had Joey not transferred in here. So we love us some Joey Aguilar. Sora the Demon, shout out. Sora says, do you remember back last year after Ohio State lost to Michigan? And they were calling for his head, just keeping with it, Vol Nation. Nothing goes anywhere without consistency. Yeah, how crazy is that? Like, they went from ready to fire Ryan Day to winning a national championship. Justin Campbell also drops 10. We appreciate you, Justin. Do we see Jamad versus Florida since he's been dressed out in practice? Young guys are starting to step up on the defensive side, but getting him back would lock down one side at least. We answered Justin's super chat and didn't even know we answered Justin's super chat. I don't guess we have anything to add to that, but thank you, Justin, for the super chat. Keg's been a member for 26 months. Shout out, Keg. If you're not a member, hit that join button. We would appreciate it. Take the fight to Florida at the Swamp for 60 minutes. See where the chips fall. GBO. Shout out, Keg. We appreciate you. Melanie's been a member for a little over 2 years. Shout out, Melanie. We appreciate you. Considering back in the spring, we didn't even have a quarterback. I'm proud of my boys. All I know is go Vols, because that's all I know. Go Vols. Shout out, Melanie. We appreciate you. Justin for 5 says Coach Jay has Prelati not been a surprise here the last half of the season. He's been fantastic along with Redmond here lately. Did we do a breakdown on Prelati?
Yeah, I know I did a couple plays. I just can't remember if he got his own dedicated video or if it was when he committed. But I know I did his film for sure. So sometimes, and God, maybe one day someone will have time to go out and rip all those breakdowns out of the live commitment videos, because we kind of moved to a format where I do my breakdowns usually during a live commitment of that player, just because it kind of ups the views and it gives it a little better synergy from a channel standpoint. So I know we did him, and I'll tell you what, his speed is not a surprise. His problem was, even from the moment he got into camp, was he was the kind of kid you had to ramp down a little, because he was moving so fast that it was like he was in the wrong spot at times. And what's been a surprise is how quickly he can remedy that. Sometimes that is a really tough fix, and he's been able to slow the game down mentally for himself really, really quickly, and that has been fantastic, impressive, amazing. Boogie, I know we haven't gotten to the rewatch. Don't know if we will, but you know what I learned upon the rewatch?
What's that?
He could have 1,000% brought his damn hands with him and gone for that wrap up. So yeah, I'm not happy about that, but man, I love watching a linebacker kill someone through a hole. So he gets a pass. Bring your damn arms with you next time.
When I was doing the replay and that play happened, I was laughing, and then I started thinking I got to work on Jaden Prelati, because his mom follows me on Twitter, his dad friend requested me on Facebook, and I think Jaden follows me on Instagram or Twitter or somewhere. I got to get Jaden Prelati on this show, and then I'm gonna go ahead and let me warn you. If he does come on, I'm gonna tell him that you're not happy with him and he needs to bring his hands with him.
No, hey, you've heard me pick on people during this show, and you know what? I bet you Coach Inge told him to bring his darn arms with him to wrap up. You know, and it's not that it would have mattered, because as soon as plastic hit plastic on that play, that quarterback was only going in one direction on the parliamentary side of his ass. But like I said, if that's that big running back from Mississippi State and he hits him that high without wrapping, he's bouncing off and getting 3 more yards. So you got to fix that. Like, tackling has been an issue. I love how fast he filled that hole, and I think he filled that hole with better instinct than we've seen a lot of our linebackers fill that B gap hole through a lot of the season. Spillman looked really, on rewatch yesterday or today, this morning. Spillman looked freaking fantastic. I like where our linebackers at. I said it. I thought Arian was on his way to a special season before he got hurt, and then when he got hurt, it was night and day. All of a sudden, he was playing flat. His angles were poor, just issue after issue, and now he's finally not playing. So, you know, we don't know what Arian would have, you know, turned into this year had he been healthy the whole season, but a bright future at linebacker either way.
Who do you think is in our 2 deep at linebacker next year? Who do you think the starting 2 are? Do you think Jeremiah T. Leonard gets passed by, and it's Arian Carter and who? And you may not think that. I'm just asking.
I don't know. I don't know if he gets passed by or not. If he does, I would think it's Spillman, but we'll see how that goes. You know, is Arian here also? I think so, but
I think so too.
I'm not 100% on it. Prelati's got a lot of speed, so he's going to be hard to keep off that field, because you need that kind of hybrid linebacker. And he's not so small, right? He's 6'4", but he's not 215 pounds or something like that. And is a freshman, he's probably the skinniest he's going to be right now, right? He's going to put on some size in that weight room. So yeah, T-Lander gone. Interesting, Nelson. So you think T-Lander will transfer because he's getting played over?
I would think that would be a real conversation at the end of the year. A real conversation. T-Lander's going to ask questions if he feels like he may have got passed by. But right now, T-Lander's still starting. I feel like I just opened this huge can of worms just trying to pick your brain what you thought the starting two looked like and who would be in the two deep. I shouldn't have worded that.
I know it might sound crazy, but I would be tempted to turn T-Lander into a Leo.
He could be good. He could be a good – because dude, and you said this when we did the T-Lander breakdown. Violence. And he does play with violence. I think he's just a step too slow at linebacker. I just think he is. Whereas maybe that doesn't hurt you as much at Leo.
Yeah, but he'd be more of a gadget Leo, I will admit. Like, it's not for every scenario, but if it's me, I'm considering that move.
We got about 300 people watching live right now. Ethan Leonard has been a member for 27 months. I can't say it enough. We need your support. If you like the show and want to keep the show moving, the best way to do that is to become a member of the channel, and it is only $1. I get it. The economy, times are tough. Things are expensive. Good Lord have mercy. Do not go out to eat. It's going to break the bank. But if you got $1, it helps this channel. I cannot say it enough. There's so many channels popping up. Everybody wants to imitate what's going on over here at the Talkin VAWLS Network. It divides the audience. It is what it is. That's the reality of what we're dealing with. We need your support to keep the lights on around here. So if you like what we do and you want to keep the show driving, hit that join button. It is only $1. And shout out to people like Ethan that has been a member for 27 months. Another way you can support this channel, you can go grab some merchandise. I added some stuff that I thought would be good little Christmas ideas. So wives, ladies, if you're sitting with your man watching Talkin VAWLS on the big screen TV, what better gift than a coffee mug? It's the big boy. It's the big boy. So they're going to pour, if they're like Todd, they're going to pour a little bourbon in it. It's not a coffee mug. It's a bourbon mug. But we got this Tennessee pouch. You got to get one for Miss J. I know it would go perfectly with her attire, her wardrobe, her purse. Tennessee tumblers, TN themed. We also got the Talkin VAWLS State Pride logo and Christmas tree ornaments. Nelson, I've seen these funny clips you're posting on Facebook. You and your wife, you showing up, going through drive-through and embarrassing her. She's embarrassing you. I think your wife would love if you would hide a Buck Fama Christmas tree ornament somewhere on your Christmas tree, and do not tell her. Just put it on there and see how long it takes her to find it. You can go to bonfire.com/store/Talkin VAWLS. Get all of these things. We've also got our regular TN theme merchandise, Talkin VAWLS logo merchandise. We've got hats, trucker hats, bucket hats. We've got toboggans. We've got Nike themed merchandise. We got windbreakers, rivalry shirts, Buck Fama, Gator Hater. Now's a good time to get that stuff. And if you order now, you're going to get it before Christmas. So get in where you fit in. Bonfire.com/store/Talkin VAWLS, just to tie a big fat bow on it. Coach, you know where we don't make a whole lot of money on merchandise because I try to keep the prices down so we get a little bit of a kickback. Do you know where every penny that comes in through Bonfire, you want to know where that goes? Somebody cue the soft playing music in the background. Do you know?
Where does it go? Does it go towards your video game collection?
Dude, that's the horrible answer. It goes to the Bentley
I had to troll
family.
you.
It goes to the Bentley family Christmas every year.
Oh,
we take all the proceeds, and that's what picks up the kids' Christmas. So we appreciate the support. Let's tie a big fat bow on it. I know the rewatch. You've already talked a little bit about it. Again, for me, the big things that stood out. Again, it's a glorified scrimmage. I'm concerned about the run game. I'm concerned about the offensive line. I think Jesse Perry's going to be back. He's going to be 100%. He was an emergency only, and they still threw him out there in the game, which is wild to me. I heard Kaner and the guys at VolQuest talking about that. I think the offensive line is going to be better this week with Jesse Perry back, but you've struggled to run the football lately. You averaged 3.3 yards per carry against Kentucky, less than 2 yards per carry against Oklahoma. You averaged 5 yards a carry against New Mexico State, but guess what? That's New Mexico State. And I will say on the rewatch, I didn't really catch it as much live. I don't know if you saw this. Deshaun Bishop was a dude. The running backs really made the run game look better than it was. The offensive, like they made some plays when there was nothing there, particularly Deshaun Bishop. At times he tried to look like Barry Sanders and got caught. And I would imagine when they watch film, he'll probably be corrected and told not to do that. But they made the running game even better than it actually should have been. That's concerning for me on the rewatch. Pass protection is concerning on me for the rewatch. David Hobbs is a dude. I got excited about the future watching David Hobbs, knowing that he's going to be back next year, knowing that he dealt with the injury and he wasn't 100%. And now we're kind of seeing him come into his own week by week. He led the team in tackles, coach. He's a defensive tackle and led this team in tackles.
He's barely getting back into fighting shape too. Like it takes, a game or two. It's why these little games at the beginning of the year can be so valuable. It's just different. Game shape is different, and it's taken him a little while, Moy a little while to get into that game shape. But yeah, we knew he was special, right? Coming out, you want to see a good high school tape? Go watch you a David Hobbs film breakdown in the playlist. There is a play where he goes from nose tackle to guarding the wheel route from the running back 25 yards down the field and makes a one-handed pick. I mean, dude is just special for a big man in space. And I think he's going to be a huge, huge piece for us next year. And that's a lot to be excited about. I thought the offensive line was lazy. I just did. I thought they were lazy all game. I didn't think that it didn't really concern me other than the fact of why are you being lazy? Why not just go out there and grind them into the ground and get your backups in? But, they phoned it in, so whatever. The secondary, I thought they gave up a little more space, but you don't necessarily want to show your hand anyway. You don't want to play them like you did Oklahoma anyway and tighten those screws up. Florida is going to be, without some weapons. I think they're going to be without Eugene Wilson III again. I think they're going to be without Dallas Wilson, Jacoby Jackson, LJ McCray. It'd be interesting to see who all suits up for them in general. But as far as that game goes, I thought Ty Redmond was great again on rewatch. I thought Marion Dye looked good. Of course, Bryson Easton, Dominic Bailey looked good as well. So just lackadaisical. I think that was the main note, was just lackadaisical play, which unfortunately not what you want, but it could be understood to some degree. It doesn't mean you have to like it or want to accept it. It just means you can understand what happened, and that's what I felt like happened in that game. Obviously, I think you're going to see a much better effort. And once again, if we don't beat ourselves, I think we'll be just fine on Saturday. Now, with that said, this team's made some big mistakes in big time moments. And if we do that, we can lose this game very easily. And
yeah, your lot's just going nuts, man.
You're
there by yourself too. That's the best
dude.
part.
And you know what's messed up, dude? The person who lived in this house before me, not the girl, but the husband died. That's why they moved. So I think I have a scary ghost that lives in my house.
Have fun
but anyway,
sleeping there by yourself tonight.
Yeah, it's all right. I have Miss J's army of cats to protect me. But yeah, so I think we can see a lot better effort next week. And what an opportunity. I mean, I know we're not playing for a playoff anymore, but what an opportunity to get a giant monkey off our back. And this one makes you nervous a little bit, right? As a Vol fan, because to lose this game is gonna get the peanut gallery up, right? It is gonna get the, oh, I told you so, I knew the whole thing. And my whole thing, and I know Boogie's whole thing too, is always, we're going to come up here and react to everything as it happens, right? We're not going to pretend to know that they're going to go 10-2. We can think that they're going to go 9-3. That can be our prediction. But just because they have one loss that we didn't like doesn't mean we're going to react that way. we're going to react as it comes. So just understand that's kind of the brainchild, the mind thinking behind what we do on this channel. And so, yeah, if they lose, it's going to carry a certain reaction. Man, I'll tell you what, Boogie, if we wanted to be really brave, we could open that fan call-in show immediately after the game.
I'm not that brave. I'm not that brave. I'm not that brave, especially if they lose. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
God.
I'm about to implement a new rule. Rule number 1, no brown liquor before a post-game show. Rule number 2, don't read the chat, Boogie, after a loss. Don't read the chat. It's a nightmare. It's a nightmare. Like, the chat's been great tonight. Somebody said there were some trolls in the chat. I didn't catch them. I didn't see them.
I didn't see them either.
The last 2 Sunday night shows have been a lot of fun, and it's only been me and Coach, and I don't even know why it happened. They were supposed to be fan call-in shows. We start cooking, and I put a poll in the chat, and like 75% of you said, no fan call-in, Boogie, keep cooking. So if this is what Sunday nights become, and we have around 300-some people in the chat, and you guys are throwing super chats and driving the conversation, we'll do it. Are you waving at Miss J in the chat?
I am. I
didn't know if it was that or you were waving at one of her cats over there in the corner.
Yeah, no, I don't know what she's doing. She's probably like at Tootsie's or Legends or something down on Broadway having a good time.
I wish we had a live feed of her and George McIntyre just out there cutting a rug.
Just cutting a rug on the honky tonk floor. Man.
Oh, I bet George McIntyre can rock some cowboy boots, jeans, and like like an old school button up long sleeve, like Coach Jay doing the old day gig, the old consulting gig. I love that Coach Jay. Coach Jay in the office is like, that's kind of normal. Coach Jay in the off season consulting gig is a whole lot of fun. You pop in and I'm like, who the heck is this guy?
Who is this human being?
Like, where'd you get that shirt?
Yeah, just so y'all know, I do have a winter season side hustle gig, and hey, man, I have a little fun. I get to pretend to be a responsible adult for like 4 weeks of the year, so that's fun.
Maybe that's why I'm like, who is this guy? Why does he look so responsible and professional? We don't do that around here. Let me catch up on super chats real quick. Matthew Watson says we might see the GOAT, Harrison Bailey, on Saturday. Ron the Don says, can we talk special teams and gadget plays? You know, somebody just posted about this on VolQuest, not laughing, but talking about how Ross, every punt is a line drive, and why can he not put some air under the ball? And you remember when they got him, they recruited him and he was coming here, everybody was like, oh, he's a rugby style kicker. We're gonna have so many plays, fake punts. Has he ever faked a punt? Not once since he's been here.
And they've been there's ones that have been open too. It's like that's what I feel like on a couple of those like 4th and 3 situations, he's had lanes where he can pick up that 3 yards, and you wonder why they haven't done that. And you can't say it's the coaching switch, right? Because we weren't doing it. Why can't I remember the coach's name? That went to Nebraska.
Eckler.
Special teams. Eckler. Eckler went. So you can't say that. Yeah, I'd like to see more gadget plays, Ron. I wouldn't mind that at all. I wouldn't mind us bringing the big spread back, like really, really spreading out and running the stack. I think we were doing it too much, but I'd like to see us Salt Bay that in, Boog. You know what I mean? Just, you don't have to have it be your whole identity, but there were things out of that offense that worked. Like sprinkle them in there. Sprinkle a couple of those, screens out there, those comebacks, and then run off of it, and then bring it back to a heavier personnel, and then bring it back to a more natural set. Make them wonder. Make them have to prepare for more than what we've had them preparing for.
We got Timothy McGee for 5, says they should have booted. Waste of talent. Boo-hoo, baby Carter. Less Hail Mary. Less Hail Mary. Timothy for another 5 says they should have moved on from Boo-hoo Carter in July. Thank you, Timothy, for the super chat. Isaac for 2 says, Boogie, I have to tell my Arkansas brawl story. I told Isaac to come on the fan call-in show and tell it, and now we're about to wrap the show. To be here Saturday an hour before kickoff. We will do the tailgate show, fan call-in show an hour before kickoff on Saturday for the Florida game. be here. I do want to hear that story. We started cooking. You guys told us to keep cooking. So that's what we did. I think maybe Sundays we'll just play it by ear, man. If you guys want to come on and you guys want to do a fan call-in show, we'll do it. If not, it's the same routine every Saturday. Me and Coach rewatch the game. We have notes from the rewatches. I start to prep my stuff for the upcoming opponent because I know I'm going to be on with Kaner in the morning. And when we wrap this show, I'm done. I go shut it down for the night, but then I wake up tomorrow morning and kind of put the rest of the show together. So it just works because Coach has different takes. I have different takes. We jump on here, we talk about it. And you guys usually have good takes. Sundays is one of the best nights. You guys drop super chats with good interactive questions, and we just feed off of that. And when you guys do that, it makes the show so much better because it's almost like you guys are giving us the topics, and then we're answering those topics that you guys want to talk about. So that's good chemistry for the show. So we appreciate you guys showing up, showing out, and showing love. If you're not a member, hit the join button. If you want that Buck Family Christmas tree ornament, go to bonfire.com/store/Talkin VAWLS. The other way you can support this channel is you can go to our Patreon. We have a game day chat. We have a tier where you can just support the channel. We also have the EA Sports College Football tier. I got to go advance that Dynasty now before I get yelled at and cussed at.
Are we playing each other?
No, I think I play Oregon, and then I think I play Dauber, and then we play last, right?
I think so.
Yeah, I think I've got 3 user games in a row. Oregon, Dauber, and then you. Timothy with another 2 says we need to go back to West Coast offensive scheme. I don't think Timothy likes I don't think Timothy likes Heupel's offense, and he never ever has.
Okay.
Willie says week after next. We play each other week after next. Really? Why would I play Notre Dame last?
That happens sometimes in real life, but I don't know. There's a lot, there's a lot of talk, not to talk Trojans on us, but the big buzz here in LA is that USC is going to move to be an independent.
That's horrible. That's horrible.
Well, I guess they're trying to pay them I don't know. I think it was 16 million less than Ohio State's of the world and stuff like that. And USC is way too stuck up. They think they're better than everyone. They're not going to allow that to happen.
Yeah, but independent, that's terrible. That's terrible. I honestly don't like the way all the conferences have been shifted and realigned, and I hate that. You think West Coast teams, you think Pac-12, you think, Big 12, all that type of stuff. I think college football is as good as it's been in a long time right now as far as product on the field, but it's the conference realignment, the bowl games meaning nothing. And I get it. You're going to get that by doing the playoff and expanding the playoff. You're going to make those bowl games less meaningful. So I guess I can't have my cake and eat it too.
It feels like the ACC doesn't even deserve a team this year.
No.
It really feels that.
There's an old man at the gym
well in that conference.
It may have changed. There was an old man at the gym that told me Duke could still make the college football playoff if they win the ACC championship.
I think
Is that still true?
Yeah, I think they can.
ACC.
Look at Georgia Tech's considered the best. I mean, they barely beat a 1-9 Boston College last week. They have not looked very good at all. And that's another one. I know everyone keeps saying oh, give me Georgia Tech's head coach. I mean, you can make an argument that quarterback has carried his career there. I think he's a great O-line coach. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to crap on the guy. I think he's a really, really top tier O-line coach. And, he kind of needs the right pieces around him to make it work after that.
Duke lost to Virginia yesterday, so some stuff would have to happen. But prior to that, they only had one conference loss and could have made the college football playoff.
South Florida could have made it before they lost to Navy.
But they beat Florida. And Florida's going to kill us.
13-point favorite, and everyone's dying to have that coach down there. So the grass isn't always greener, family. I mean, Golish, I like Alex Golish. I think he's an amazing coach, but he hasn't been perfect either. And that's my point is very few coaches are perfect. Last year, the national championship coach wasn't perfect.
Well, and Golish is just unproven, man. Like if he came here, you don't know that that's an upgrade over Coach Heupel. Like he's just unproven. Like
it could go better or worse.
Yeah. You have no idea. All right, that is going to do it for this one. We appreciate you guys tuning in. I'm glad you guys enjoyed Boogie and Coach Jay cooking. That's what we're going to do on Sundays. We'll let you decide. We'll let you vote. If you have not smashed the thumbs up, do that on the way out the door. We would greatly appreciate it. But that is going to do it. I'll be back right here tomorrow morning live, 9 a.m. Eastern time with Eric Kane of VolQuest.com and Locked On Vols talking about probably a whole lot of Tennessee, Florida. So join us. Be here. Don't miss it. That's going to do it for this one. For Coach Jay, my name is Boogie Bentley. This is the Talkin Vols Network. Go Big Orange.
That we call